In this vlog, I'm going to do some rapid-fire responses to several people who are in the X-Pod Layer community. In this way, I don't have to necessarily do an individual vlog just to address a few comments each of them have said, because they've chimed in a little bit less than some others have. I'll start out with Christian. Hey there, Christian. I see that you have been one of the more reasonable people in this. Most other people are just completely losing it and going one way to the other, these rather wide fluctuations. You've actually remained remarkably rather steady throughout this. And, no offense meant, but I am aware you're a flat earther. I don't believe in flat earth theory myself. So it's been quite interesting to see how a flat earther has been able to hold on to observing the quality phenomenon better than others. So it is what it is. So good luck with whatever you're going to do. And I hope that my work has been somewhat helpful to you. And if there's anything you see in the future that is helpful, by all means, you're welcome to it. And I'll be going forward doing my own thing. And nice to know there are at least some people who don't completely lose it when things get a little bit gnarly. Hanna. Hanna is someone that I guess she's been aware of Pod Layer for a while, but at a distance. And she's saying that I've always hated her because she doesn't agree with Pod Layer or something. Okay, that's just silly. I think Hanna, to anyone who can read humans at all, can see this is a rather thirsty individual who really needs validation, likes attention, little pats on the head. So Hanna, I hope someone has given you a pat on the head today. I hope you get a pat on the head every day. I think you need it, and I don't want you to be sad. However, your opinions on things of this seriousness, you have to conduct yourself with a little bit more seriousness, and otherwise it's like, why are you here? You're here for just so there you go. And just for me, I don't hate you. I don't even dislike you at all. Even now with the things you said, I don't have those kinds of strong feelings towards you in any way. I don't, and again, it's not meant to be mean. I don't care about you enough or think about you enough to hate you. In fact, it's one of the joys of my disability. I kind of forgotten you existed. So when I saw, like, what's going on, Gianina's like, oh, from back, oh, okay. So no, rest at ease, Hanna. I do not hate you. In fact, I will think very little of you after I move on here. Alkeides, let's see here, what's to say? Well, I do wish I'd gotten your case right earlier on. I can understand how it is upsetting to have something so personal need to be updated like that. I guess not much else to say other than you do seem like you have a bitter predilection to sometimes let your inner troll out. So my advice to you is to get control of your inner troll and see if you can't make some progress in life as far as, more of a positive way of going about things. Otherwise, you're just going to kind of thrash around. But, hey, do your thing, and we won't be seeing each other or talking to each other anymore. So whatever my work has done to help you, you're welcome to it. Whatever it has upset you, I wish that wasn't so. And yeah, happy trails. See, next is Gianina. Gianina is the sister of Demas. We have known each other somewhat over the years, although mainly kind of at a distance. And I had to update her case, and I could see how that could be upsetting. But that does not condone. I understand that I've not seen this yet, but I've been told from a couple different places that you are accusing me of assaulting you. Well, that never happened. That's a complete fabrication. And Gianina was with us every time we were together. I was never alone with you, so that's just silliness. I'm hoping this isn't true. I'm hoping these are just things people told me that you said, and you didn't really actually say that. But if you did, that's very disappointing, and it's sad that you would, go to such gross lengths to try and virtue signal and be a part of this, mob, pitchfork and torch deal. It is what it is, but I'm going to just choose to believe that is not something you said until I actually see evidence of it. But I have to address it because I have heard that that's a thing out there. So everyone, I have heard that apparently I've been accused of assaulting Gianina somewhere in our past history of knowing each other. That never happened. You can choose to believe it or not. It is what it is. Maya. Maya is someone that has been with the group at a sort of outside position for a while, and we've had a good rapport over the years. I tried to do the best I could for her case, but it is what it is. I didn't get it right in the beginning. I believe I updated it to be more correct, but that can be upsetting, and I understand that. But then you say things like, where I got a lot of my data from is my dreams. Was that meant to be a dig? Well, it's not, because I don't get my data from dreams or my spirits. I get data from observing the cues, the trails. If you can go look at the A-grade samples, it's right there. If you can't see it, that's on you. But that's data. That's an empirical, observable data if you have a proper lens. Now, my insights, yes, I get a lot of insights from dreams, from spirit forming, from talking to my guides, as it were. Nothing unusual about that in the history of great humans. Many a great human has done that, and I'm just another one in the long line. Go me. Glenn. I have not seen Glenn for a bit. We used to be on the core team together, and we had some personal things that we were trying to work through, and found that the best way for us to talk was actually at a distance. So perhaps this was a precursor to what is going on now as far as the necessity of working with modern day humans at an appropriate distance. That distance just seems to be necessary in order for me to do the work at the level it needs to be done. And I think it's more palatable to people if they don't have to be so close to me. Being close to me seems to actually throw them off. It makes it, our relationship becomes a bigger deal than this most big deal. It's amazing to me how much conversation time is spent about relationship stuff when there's so much important, groundbreaking work to be done, even by my critics. Now, several of them actually are still acknowledging things that would put this at one of minimum the most incredible discoveries ever, and people just really kind of get caught up a bit more into the relationship stuff. And that's not all on Glenn. We're just saying that's something I noticed in general, and Glenn and I were already kind of having that, and we kind of already established a bit of a distance. So Glenn, I don't know what's going on with you. I don't know if you know this. There's been a pod layer fallout. People are losing their shit, and apparently I've heard a couple different places that the grading of the samples A, B, C, D, which is actually just a professional thing to do. That's how trackers would lay things out. That helps you understand what you should train your ability levels on first and what you should stay at until you're good enough at tracking that to move on. But apparently that very conscientious, professional, proper way of doing something has wigged people out in me. There's no confidence in anything. Where I don't know where they're getting that, but apparently that's a thing. It is what it is. And Ben and Mitchell now apparently can't see it. We're actually at a state now where Andy Lee and Gabe and Christian can see better the mojo phenomenon than Ben and Mitchell. So this is one of two things. Either the phenomenon was never there, we were just looking at something that wasn't there, and it was just my imagination, you guys were on my little imagination trip, or there is something there, it's very subtle and difficult to see, and it's unnerving how big the implications are and how huge the pushback and resistance from the world is going to be, and the difficulty it takes in getting one's skills up. So that, when Ademus did his email and people are like, oh, that makes sense, that email made no sense, but to those who actually felt that, it allowed their fears to flare up. So I believe that Ben and Mitchell have been overwhelmed by their fears, their insecurities, and that has caused them to unsee something that they in fact did see. That's my take on it. I'm sure everyone else has their own take on it. But there you are. You are caught up. We've had a massive fallout. I'm going my own way. People are now deciding what they can see or can't see. And the general thing is, there is something there maybe, and I guess this guy found it to some degree, but he wants too much credit, and I have speculations based on that make no sense. And just generally, I'm an asshole. So that all trumps whatever may be this discovery. That to me is absolutely ridiculous, but that apparently is the situation, so consider yourself caught up. Our last one here, this is to Caroline. Caroline is someone who's also been aware of the pod layer project for a while, more from the outside, but she and I have had some good conversations over the years through instant message and so forth, and I've done my best I can with her case, had to update her case, from Nijai to Zenai, because I believe that to be the correct thing. And I think that those corrections, all the purifications prior to it, and then me changing the media grades, or not changing, but creating a grading system, A, B, C, D, those were like the big things that kind of broke people apart as far as their confidence, their cohesion of thought. That's what did it. So I've always had a good rapport with Caroline. She's one of the people that did not actually lose her virtue, lose her shit during this. I was surprised how many people just lost it. There are a few who actually were able to keep it together, because I don't mind if you disagree with me. I don't mind hard criticism. I think that should be obvious from the way I vlog and so forth. If I think something is off, I'll correct it. I've corrected things in the model that are very core. I've corrected things in the reads that are at the heart of my confidence. I mean, I'm willing to take critique, and deep critique where it actually goes to like the fundamentals of me and my understanding, my confidence, all of that. But there's a difference between, critiquing something and indulging in behavior like mob behavior. I'm surprised at how many people who declare themselves to be independent-minded seekers, people of elevated character, doing these behaviors they've been doing. So I appreciate you not jumping in on that. Of course, you're more welcome to do that in the future if you feel fit, but you said that's not your thing, and it doesn't seem like that is, and I appreciate that. That gives me some hope for humanity, that there are modern-day humans that, whatever the level of understanding the Mojo phenomenon, they can still conduct themselves in a way that is reasonable and is not allowing their own wants and fears and angers and resentments to actually spill over and control pretty much every dialogue. Every dialogue kind of becomes about like feelings, and I feel this way and I feel that way. So yeah, thank you for being one of the few calm things in the storm. And if you have any criticism for Podlair, I don't mind that at all. I don't mind criticism, but there is a difference between criticism and losing your shit.